everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I am here in person with my bestie, Mandy.
Oh, I'm your bestie now, am I?
Okay, guys, seriously, we're in Phoenix. We're at Wild and Windy Phoenix, and I've been spending a lot of time talking with Natasha Knight over the last few months, and was so excited to get to meet her because she lives Denmark or somewhere over there. She lives over there, and
Every time you talk about it,
I just like Swedish. I'm like Norway, Denmark, one of those. Finland. Yeah, I just call it Swedish land, but that's not it. I will find out for sure. I just can't remember. Anyhow, when I got to go see her the other night before while they were setting things up, and talked to her for a few minutes, and I introduced Mandy as my buddy because I was so like emotional just getting to see her. There's some things going on where she was like,
I've been demoted, people.
I meant to say bestie, but I was tongue-tied and I said buddy.
Hello for the link to the Google form. I'm taking applications for a new bestie.
So she's never going to let me live it down. So anyhow, okay, so this is our 1 minute book recs. This is my bestie, Mandy. I forgot all that. You should know that by now. So let's talk about our books, talk about our week. How was your week? This was a travel week.
It was a travel week.
Yeah, so how was your reading week?
I read 4 books this week.
Okay, it's a travel week. I read 6 books this week. So you do not have to start.
Thank goodness.
Okay, but I am going to give you my first book, and we're going to just try to do this real quick because we don't have our 1 minute timer, and I can't, my glasses aren't on, I can't see that, but we're going to do this quick. Okay, so the first book I read this week is Treading Water by because of glare.
I was just trying to hold it up there.
Okay, by B. Shabakan. I finally learned how to say her name. So this is a new audio that just came out, and I just want to say the audio was amazing. It was so good. It was done by Avery Karras and Sean Masters, and I know that B is she's been excited about it, but also, it's her first audio, so she was hoping that it would be good and a little nervous about that. So this is a novella, so this is a very quick, easy listen, and it is about our heroine, who is Sage, and she's in college. She's on the water polo team. She's a little bit of a national sensation. Like, everybody kind of knows about her, and she didn't go to this big Ivy League college. She chose one that was closer by because her mom is a single mom, and she's helping take care of her little sister. And so she's going to a smaller college, but she's still going to play water polo. She still has goals to get to the Olympics. And that is when she meets her coach, who comes in, and he is an Olympic champion. And let's just say that there's something that happens between her and the coach. I definitely had off balance vibes from this. I loved it. I gave it a solid 4 stars. And Bia said it's like, what did she say? It's for those who ever had a crush on their coach. I loved this. And the audio was it was perfection. It made it. It worked for me. Okay.
My first book was Close Quarters by Candy Steiner. And this is Aspen. She gets forced into, I think, what's that show? Below Deck. Kind of had Below Deck vibes. So she gets kind of roped into going with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend works on this billionaire's yacht, and she's like seeing him often. The billionaire is there, and she ends up getting roped in on coming with them on the yacht. And Joel I don't really know what they saw in each other to begin with, but they've been together for a while. And Joel is very flirty, like with his coworkers right in front of her, like, again, think Below Deck. And then the billionaire falls for her somehow. And I normally like Candy Steiner, but this one, I just was a little bored. I didn't really get why the billionaire was all of a sudden attracted to her. And then she's upset that her boyfriend's off flirting with other people that work there, but she's flirting with the billionaire and kissing him. And I don't know. I got a little bored, and the whole saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Isn't that the saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know. She was doing the same thing he was doing, kind of, and then she was frustrated with him about it. I rated it 3 stars. It just really didn't work for me. Other people might like it.
Okay.
Also, I don't really like Below Deck. I don't like those kinds of shows, so that might not be my vibe either.
Just so you guys, we forgot to to preface this by saying the reason why we're doing it by showing you the phone is because we won't get back until late tomorrow night, which is Sunday, and this has to be up early Monday morning. So this is the easiest way to do it, and it worked when we did it in Vegas. So we're doing it this way this time. So here's my next one. Okay, so the next book that I read is Just Like That by Lena Hendricks. This is in her King family saga. So King family number 4. This is about Hazel and JP. So Hazel, I did love this. It does have some BRCA representation. So if you guys have been here for a hot minute, you know that I have the BRCA2 gene, and that's why I had the mastectomy. And now tattoos. I'm
gonna show the people.
Just about all you're gonna see. Anyhow.
Oh my gosh.
Show everything. Anyhow, so
if you meet her in person, she will though.
I have a picture of Natasha Knight looking down my shirt yesterday. Anyhow, yes. So this is JP is a billionaire, or he's a wealthy businessman, very uptight, wears a bow tie, just very, very uptight. And you have our heroine, Hazel, who moves to this small town. She brings her nephew. Her sister has died of ovarian cancer because it's hereditary cancer. We're told that Hazel also carries that gene. And so she brings the little boy, her nephew, to town because when her sister died, she found out that JP is the father. Now, JP doesn't remember the sister. He denies this right away. It was his college partying days, but the little boy is uptight, wearing a bow tie like the dad, and it's really, really cute. I gave this 3.5 stars. Hazel is very flighty. She's very, a free spirit. She lives in a van or a repurposed bus, and she's a little too much for me. But I did enjoy this. I did enjoy the story. It was just, she wasn't my cup of tea. But I really loved the BRCA representation. I thought that was awesome. So you guys would probably maybe give it higher than I would, but it was just, she was too flighty for me. Well, that went to sleep. Or do you want me to hold that for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my next book is What's Left of Us by B. Celeste. This is her newest release that just came out. Okay. So this is Lincoln. Lincoln is a detective, and his partner is shot, and he's been he's been forced to go to therapy as part of his condition to return to work. And he was also injured, so like he's got a lot of stuff going on, but he has to go to therapy. And he really blames himself for what happened to his partner and for his marriage with Georgia falling apart. And so this is kind of the story of him working through things during therapy. And then we have the flashbacks to how he even met Georgia. Georgia's dad is kind of like mafia crime boss type person in the city. And he's a detective. So you can kind of see where there's going to be some problems there. You don't want to hold the book up anymore?
No, I need to get ready for the next one.
So this is a little bit different than what B. Celeste normally writes. I absolutely love this. I rated it 5 stars. It has like those mafia suspense vibes, and then that traditional B. Celeste angst vibes as well. So we got like the marriage is over, but it's not over. Yeah. Love this one. So go check it out.
What did you gave it what?
5 stars. I said.
Did you say that? I missed it.
I said it.
Stuff.
Yeah,
I just
you
didn't
didn't want to hold the book anymore.
No, I didn't. Mandy wanted me in the airport, made me read the prologue to this book. And let me tell you, the minute we got here, I was like, we have to see B. Celeste immediately. I have to get that book. I need to read that book. So it is good. From what I read, it hooked me immediately. So
yeah, I had you read it. I'm like, did you see any red flags?
All of them.
The prologue.
All of them.
Like a lot. I'm very intrigued.
Yes, a lot of them. Okay, so I decided next I was going to read a historical that I've been wanting to read. I actually listened to this. This is The School Mistress by Tess Thompson. This is told in first person, which is different for a historical. And I kind of got excited about that, but I quickly got bored with the book. So that didn't work. So this is about Quinn, who travels to the small Colorado town. She's going to work with, I put that down the series. That's his name. Lord Alexander has hired her to be the schoolmistress in this small town where, there's a lot of families coming. There's also a lot of minors that are illiterate. And so she's going there to be a teacher. She doesn't have a lot of money. She's going to send it all back to her mom and sister. But when she gets there, some things transpire, and she ends up staying at the Lord Alexander's house with all of his kids. He's a widower, and it's a thing. I got bored. I gave it, I put 3 here. It probably should be 2, but I was being nice. I don't know. It was just hard to get through. So
Okay.
yeah,
We had an interesting reading week.
we did.
Okay, next up, I listened to the ALC of Grand Slam by Lisa Suzanne, which is the last in the Vegas Aces Bases Loaded series. So this is coming out, and then if you want to watch it. Oh my gosh. Listen to it. All 5 books will, because the last one comes out here. I didn't write the date down and we're traveling, so I don't know. It's sometime soon. Very soon. So this is the ALC is by Avery Reed and Scott Rose do the narration, and they do a phenomenal job. Like in my reviews, I've been writing that they are just perfection, and I agree with stand by that. So this is Alexis and Danny's story. I've talked about this several of them.
Having trouble connecting to the internet. Check the network connection by going to settings.
Alexa, stop.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
Anyway, so
That was my Kindle.
Alexis and Danny's story. She is the singer. He's the baseball star. They meet. Her dad is her manager, and she has an agent, and they're both very overly involved in her life and very controlling and, almost Britney Spears type vibes, but not quite that bad. And they have a path set for her, and her dad wants her to get married to Brooks, and she really wants to be with Danny. And so I don't want to give anything away because this is book 5, but that is the basis of their story, and this one concludes that. And so I'm a huge Lisa Suzanne fan. Love this one. The series is 5 stars.
Okay. I picked up next an Omegaverse. This one had a lot of potential. It was supposed to be dark Omegaverse. Yeah, I know. A lot of potential. Started out strong, fizzled in the end. This is called Not My Sin. It's by Jen Bullard. This is about Ren. When Ren is 10, she actually designates, like they find out that she's an Omega, where you normally don't find that out until, you're puberty, 12, 13, 14. And so they figure that out early. Her parents are the worst parents imaginable. They sell her to this guy who likes children, which is disgusting. And she's with him for 11 years, and he gives her things to keep her young, like keep her small.
What are you reading?
Yeah, it was horrible. So then he decides she's grown boobs and he don't want her anymore. So he puts her in this auction, and this pack bids on her. Like they buy her because they already have a male Omega in that pack, and there's something about her he feels very drawn to, and so he bids on her $2 million, and then they get her, and then they're just going to set her free, but then they realize that she's supposed to be part of their pack. It was a whole thing. It had potential if it was done right. Obviously very dark, but not, I don't know. It just they all had a pet name for her. It just got to be a little too much. She got over her trauma like that, by the way. The minute she had mates, she was over the trauma. And I'm like, that is not how this is going to go. So give it 2 stars. One of those stars was for the potential.
Okay.
Yep.
So technically I actually read 5 books, but one is for our convincing, which will be out on Thursday. So you can watch my torture. I mean that video on Thursday. So my last book, Here and Now by Corinne Michaels. I was lucky enough to get the ALC, which is duet narration by Jason Clark and Angelina Rocco. And this is the very first duet narration that she's had. So that she was very excited about it, and it is phenomenal, like really worth the listen. So this is Penelope and Miles' story. This is Ember Falls number 2. So Miles is like the book boyfriend. Like he is book boyfriend material. He goes to the coffee shop and buys coffee every single day, sometimes more than once, and throws it away because he hates coffee just so he can see Penelope. Yeah. So he has a sister, his twin sister, Eloise, and him have like this fantastic banterish relationship, which I just loved. And she,
keep going.
okay. Why'd you take the phone away?
Because I don't want to hold my hand that long.
Her husband is Miles's best friend, and he gets hurt and breaks his leg, and he can't coach hockey that summer. Miles is a school principal. He's looking forward to this month off, and now he gets to coach elementary school hockey. And that is where Kai is going to be, and Kai is Penelope's son, and so that kind of throws them into each other's universe in a different way. And Miles is just so fantastic with Kai, but Penelope is on the run, and I can't give any more details about that, but she is on the run, so she has a very guarded heart and does not want to be setting down roots or getting involved with somebody, but Miles is relentless. We still see all the guys from Ember Falls, and I'm going to read you my favorite quote. Now she's going to see, because remember they play disc frisbee.
They play ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee, competitive frisbee, okay? And he says, now she's going to see we don't, in fact, have big disc energy. We're more like floppy disks. Oh my gosh. I just love this. So this has that romantic suspense. So it has very seriousness to it. But also Corinne Michaels is fantastic about weaving in like funny things. And this whole competitive frisbee is so freaking hilarious. So I love this. And Miles is just like such an alpha swoony hero book boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, here. You're not
The buddy's out.
The buddy. No, the bestie. I panicked. Okay, so my get up here. You're showing off our messy bed. The plural. We don't sleep in the same one. Okay, anymore. Mandy tosses and turns a lot. Anyhow, my next book that I read is Starfish. Deal with the Devil by Deborah Garland. I listened to this on audio, even though apparently the audio wasn't supposed to be out for a while because Mandy applied for the ALC and hasn't gotten it yet. But this is about
supposed to be out till March. So
yeah, but it is out. It came out on Tuesday. So this is number 4 in her Astoria Royals. I've not read anything else in that series. I don't think you have to. It's a standalone. But this is about Katya and Lachlan. So Lachlan is the enforcer for the Irish Mafia, and Katya is the bastard daughter of the Bratva, the head of the Bratva. She is a ballerina, and she's treated like crap because she was the mistress's daughter, and he didn't get her until she was like she didn't come to live with her dad until she was 12. And he has another. He has another daughter who is like the apple of his eye. So 2 years before the book starts, that is when Lachlan and Katya meet. He sees her dancing outside by herself in a gazebo after a party, and he just falls madly in love with her. Not like madly in love, but he's attracted. There is something about her to the point that he abstains from sex for 2.5 years until he sees her again because he is so caught up with her. Yeah, that's a man, let me tell you. So anyhow, 2.5 years later, they run into each other. She is being forced to marry this guy from Russia who has a pregnant mistress. But her dad's making her marry this guy, and he's going to take her back to Russia. And she just is so upset. And the guy beats her at one point, like hits her because she backtalks him. And when Lachlan sees that, like he runs into her and he sees that, and he decides he is going to storm the wedding and he's going to marry her instead.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that stuff happens, and then things happen from there. I gave it a solid 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah, this is on my March TBR.
Yeah. So then
it's supposed to be out.
I know. And then the last book that I read, I'm trying to get to the picture for you, which
trust me,
messed that up, but there you go. I read Not Your Fairy Tale by Jerrica James. This is another Omegaverse that I've been wanting to read for a while. It had a really cute premise. So our heroine, which is Ellie, is on like a bachelor show, right? Like a dating show. And it's to find her pack though. So she's the bachelorette. She's there to find her pack. And there's another Omega there trying to find her pack as well. Well, she gets double crossed by that Omega. And the pack that she was going to choose, who she'd formed a connection with, like, we're like, no, we don't want you. We want the other one. So she flees the show, and then she ends up going to her brother's, where her brother is at. He lives in this little small town. And so she's dealing with the aftermath of the show. And then she's also dealing with the fact that she runs into his, like, she meets his best friend, and that's one of her mates. She meets a couple other guys. All her mates are in this town. I did like this one. I gave it 4 stars. It was cute. I wish I would have seen more of the angst from the show. Like, I wish I would have seen a little bit more of the show, because we just get clips and snippets of that. We don't actually see what happened. But I did enjoy it. I did give it 4 stars. It was more cutesy than angsty, which I like more angsty. So anyhow, so that was my reading week.
All right.
All right. So there you go, guys. There was our 1-minute book recs for this week.
Yes. Okay. We are off to go see the sun.
We're off to go see the authors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the sun. I really want to get some.
I won't be saying this ad.
All right. So make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. And we are working on some great author lineups for more author interviews that will be coming probably in March
Sometime soon.
to the Bestie Book Review channel.
Yep. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
And
Let us know how your reading week was. Tell us in the comments, how's life? What's up? Let's do.
check.
Talk to us.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're a little bit of a mess today. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.